Hi guys. So I said I was going to use my iPad for my next team Zoom, but I forgot I can't record it unless I'm on my computer. So I guess my team Zooms are just going to be like crappy quality because my computer quality is horrible. Hopefully you guys can hear me. How is everyone? Okay. All right. I'm going to talk about time management and organization tonight. So I normally come home and shower after work, but I had to stay at work late because it was crazy today. So I'm still in my uniform. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's kind of cool that I'm still in my uniform because now you can see that I have to use time management and organization. But so when I started this business almost a year ago, I worked full time, more than full time, really, like overtime, pretty much. And I was still able to work this business, still able to get like 10 to 15 to 20 customers a month, able to still get a handful of distributors every month. Like, it was awesome. Now I've been able to cut back my hours and I only work part time at Chick-fil-A, only like 20 to 25 hours a week, which is awesome. So now I have a bit more free time to be able to fit in things, but also I'm doing like a lot more, I feel like, than I was before. Anyway, so time management. I'm going to talk mostly like about like if you're working with time management. You can try to relate it to like if you're a stay-at-home mom and like working around your kids. But I unfortunately don't totally relate to that because I'm not working around my kids. I'm like working around my work schedule and my like family, like my little brother who's 15. I just have to work around like picking him up from school. So I'm super excited to tell y'all about all my tips. So when I first started, was like kind of all over the place, just like on my phone all the time, just like responding to people, doing what I can, like just like over and over and over. And like whenever people message me, I message them right back. And like I still kind of do that a little bit, but I try to like designate more times for it. So I now 90% of the time wake up an hour before I need to like actually get up out of bed. And I work on my phone for an hour in the morning before I even get up. So I normally go make a post on my page first thing in the morning. Usually it's like a product post nowadays, and then I'll follow like 25 people on Facebook, follow 100 people on Instagram. All of that only takes like 15 minutes altogether, maybe, probably not even. Like 5 minutes to write a post, put a Lightroom filter on it, takes like 2 seconds. So like 5 minutes to write a post, 5 minutes to follow people on Facebook, 5 minutes to follow people on Instagram. And then I am doing like my little activities that I need to like little stuff I need to do, like seeing if I need to follow up with customers or like checking my eSuite to see if I have credit card declines. I do that in the morning too. And then depending on like my mood, I normally do like interacting in the morning as well. So I'll do like 15 minutes of interacting with my Facebook friends and 15 minutes of interacting with my Instagram friends. And now it's been about 45 minutes, maybe 50 with my checking eSuite and everything. So I have 10 more minutes. I usually just find something to post on my story. And then throughout that, I might be like interacting also with people, like messaging people back that like wrote me overnight that I didn't answer yet. So that's usually like my power hour in the morning and what that consists of. And then I usually also do like half an hour power hours or power hours like one more time throughout the day, so that I can get like messaging for host to post in and posting again and posting on my story again. So like today I woke up an hour early and did stuff in the morning, and then I didn't even get off work until 9:30, and I have this Zoom at 10. So I like got home, didn't even take a shower. I'll message back people that messaged me while I was at work for 10 hours. And then now when I get off of here, I'm going to send some post-to-post messages out. I'm going to post on my page again. I'm going to post on my story again. And then I'll go to bed. And in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll answer all the people that wrote me when I had written them overnight. So if I don't have time to do like more than one power hour, like I just have my morning power hour and I don't really have time to like sit down for another hour during the day, or at night, then I try to cut back my interacting to maybe like 10 minutes for each instead of 15 and use like 10 or 15 minutes that I have left over then to send out host to post messages because it doesn't take that long to just like click the person. If you have text replacement, I put like HM1, host post message 1, and it sends them the cute little post that says like, hey girl, can I ask you a question? So I click person, message, HM1, person, message, HM1, person, message, HM1. Like it takes 10 minutes to message 50 people, which is pretty much my goal for the day. And then if that's my power hour in the morning and I don't have time for a power hour at night, I still throughout the day, like when I have a second, like if I run to the bathroom or on my break at work, I'm answering people back that messaged me earlier, or answering people that commented on a host post or commented on my post. And then probably once, maybe twice a week, I usually have like a couple hour time frame in the middle of the day. So I did my power hour in the morning and then I don't have stuff to do. So like I have like 2 hours in the middle of the day. I can go back and like interact on my host to posts from before. I can like look at my chart. I can write down all my potentials that I've been talking to. Yeah, I do that about twice a week. And so if you don't have time to do that about twice a week, you can do it once a week. You also can like do that for one day instead of your power hour if you need to. Or maybe like do that kind of stuff for half an hour and do a power half an hour with like stuff actually like income producing activities. Hopefully all of that kind of makes sense. So that's how I do it. But I've heard a lot of other people do it like just a little bit throughout the day. Like, so every time they have like 5 minutes to just pause what they're doing, they'll like follow 50 people on Instagram or follow 20 people on Facebook or message 20 people. I personally don't like messaging just like little bits of people at a time because I gotta go find my spot of where I was because I like message like in order of like my followers. I don't just like type random names, which some people do, which is faster to message just a couple people if you want to do that. But like when you have a bathroom break at work, you just follow 50 people on Instagram, put a post up really quick. Or if you don't want to put a post up because you're at work and people will judge you, then just like send out messages really quick and put a post up when you get off. I totally understand that. So that's what some people do if they don't have time to do power hours. They literally just when they have 5 minutes here and there, all you're trying to do is like get a post up at least once a day. Honestly, like my team, I teach them to post 3 times a day, but that's just something new that we're doing with our attraction marketing. So depending on your upline, posting 1 to 3 times a day takes 5 minutes each time. Sending out a handful of messages. If you can't get 50 a day, start with smaller than 50 just till you get like your time frames and check of what you're doing. Just like said, you have 10 minutes before you have to go to work, send out 30, 40 messages. Or like when you're in line at the grocery store and there's a long line, or in line at Chick-fil-A and there's a long line and you already like know what you want, be on your phone, put something on your story real quick. It's like super simple to fit into like whatever you've got going on. Like I said, I worked overtime hours, like 40 plus hours a week, not just 40-hour work week, but 40 plus hours a week, and was still doing this and still doing that whole taking like it was probably once a week back then, once a week to like write down all my potentials and like stuff and not just like my daily work list. But your daily work list, honestly, you should be able to get done in like an hour a day. Which like if you need help, you need me to like write something out for you to like designate time slots for everything, please send me a message. I would be glad to help you figure out how to designate like 5 minutes for this, 5 minutes for this, 10 minutes for this. And like really stick to that. If you're really sitting down and like sticking to what you're saying you're doing, like for the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to message people, and you're not just like scrolling through your Instagram, and you're not just like, oh, go to this app, go to this app, go to this app, go to this app, then you can actually message like at least like 40 people in 10 minutes. Like seriously, it works that way. So you can get like so much done in an hour if you're really just sitting there and putting work in and not getting distracted. Because like once I get up in the morning, if I have work that day, I'm not on my phone for like 10 hours of the day. But I'm still a Ruby leader in this business and still going to be an Emerald leader in this business in the next month or two. So if I can do it working overtime hours, you can do it, girl. You got it. Okay. Whatever your situation is, if you don't think you can, message me and we'll figure out a way for you to do it. I will literally tell you to break down your schedule for me and I will find you time to do it. It is not hard. Okay, so that was kind of the time management part of it. So I am going to kind of go over organization or like how I organize stuff real quick. Okay, so I have a calendar and a binder and a notebook. My notebook is for when I'm listening to self-development, just to take notes though, which speaking of self-development, fitting self-development into your workday is super critical, but that is super easy because you can just, hi, you want to say hi to the people? No, you don't want to come up here. Sorry, dog. Seriously, self-development is super easy because you can listen to something while you're doing other things. Like while you're taking a shower, put self-development on like a speaker. Or while you're driving, put self-development on like your Bluetooth of your car or your aux cord. That's when I fit in my self-development. Or sometimes if I'm doing a power hour, I'll put a training on in the background. But I still like listen to a book for like 15 minutes while I'm driving. Or like while I'm cooking my breakfast or my lunch or whatever. Self-development is super, super important and super, super easy to fit into your schedule. At least like 15 minutes a day. That's what I like designated, but I do more than that. So my binder. Papers out. Okay. I'm probably just gonna read to you guys like how my binder. I have like 7 sections. Okay. My first section is super thick. It's like 50 pages, probably more than 50 pages because it's the whole past year of all my potentials. Yeah, that's definitely more than 50 pages, like 120 or something. So I literally write down everyone that I talked to that showed any type of interest. How I don't like have my notebook binder with me. I do this like once or twice a week, like I said. So I take a screenshot when like someone answers me and they have become a potential. Like if I'm sending out host to post messages and I messaged someone that commented on a host to post because they were interested in this, I don't like take a screenshot until they answer me back and they're like yes. Then I take a screenshot and then I do that same thing on Instagram. I used to like scroll through like the days that I hadn't like written down stuff and like look for everyone, but it's so much easier to just take a screenshot and then you can like go back and just type in the people's names to follow up with them, because I thought it was easier to scroll through so that I could follow up with them while I was writing them down, but I feel like now it's easier for me to do it this way. So if you think it's easier to scroll through and follow up with people at the same time, then you can do that. I also used to on Instagram, you can like flag a picture. So like when someone was a potential, I would flag their picture and add it to an album of mine, and the album will be called Talk to Today. And after I wrote them all in my book, I would delete the album. Then when I got a new potential, I'd create a new album, put it in Talk to Today, and just add all my potentials to that, which is still like a good idea. I would still do that, except I just screenshot everything now. So that's up to you, what you find best, but those are some ideas. After that, I have host to post organizer. I have a page of my host post tips. I have pages of people that have done host post for me then, like April host to post, July host to post, etc., etc. My next tab is my team. I need to add something while I have this open. Maybe. Sorry, guys. Multitasking. See, now I'm like writing something down while I'm teaching a team training. What was yesterday? All right, let me not get that distracted. Okay, so I just write down, like every time somebody signs up on my team, like a distributor signs up on my team, I write down the date and I write down their name. And then when they're getting their 2 customers, like to get Fast Start qualified, I write down the customer like LC1, LC2. I write down like the BV that they get so that I know how much BV they're getting if they're commission qualified also or just Fast Start qualified. You can also keep track of that in eSuite, but I kind of like having it on a piece of paper. Sorry, y'all. Okay. My next page is LCs. So since last October, all the way through now, I have all my LCs written down. I write like the month and then I write the date, the person's name, and what they got, like all on one line. So I can see like how many customers I get each month and like what they ordered and everything. My next category, what's the word I'm looking for, is my new DT training agenda, which has changed multiple times, but I have it written down in there now, what I want right now. I have a page called My Schedule with my daily checklist and my weekly checklist, but now I use Google Keeps because it gives me, like, I can uncheck and check boxes every day with like my daily tasks and my weekly tasks, which is awesome. And my next thing is journaling, which is our upline. I think Kristen Kirkendale still does it, but I know Cheyenne Knox does it as well, like a journaling Zoom in the morning every morning, but I actually started doing my own journaling, so I don't use that anymore. But if you'd be interested, let me know. And then the last section, sorry, that word keeps leaving my head. The last section is my charts. So like my charts and my girls' charts for the months. Let's go back in here. And then my calendar, like when I'm writing down my potentials, I'm also like looking about if they told me a specific day to check back in with them, which normally I'm asking them for a specific day or at least a general time frame, like a week or 2 or something like that, so that I can write down when, like on the day I need to follow up with them, I write their name down. Make sense? Hopefully. Okay, so that's basically what I have for time management and for organization, I think. But if you ever have any questions, feel free to message me, Bethany Garner on Facebook, Bethany_Garner95 on Instagram. And I'm tired, y'all. I'm sorry. My thoughts are literally all over the place. But I hope you guys learned something from this. And I love y'all. Bye.